Cosmic circus?
The new thing that I heard was the sum total of what's in your vortex is bigger and more beautiful than you could describe. I knew that part, actually. The part that was new was it will surprise and delight you more than you could describe at any one time. It's the fun of taking it further and further. That's the surprise and delight factor. So I've been curious about fun, and on Tuesday, of course, I heard the recording that was about fun is clarity and adventure, but I hadn't heard it applied to because I had the fun of talking to a roadie at a Coldplay concert who had the tickets to put me in the front row. So we took my, 85 row front row. And then I told friends about how fun that was, and then I talked to a prof at school who said, yeah, I'll work with you about pet rabbits. So then I came to see Abraham in Terrytown, and I went back and I wrote a scholarship application, so now I get to study pet rabbits, and somebody else is going to pay for it. And then I went backwards because I thought, holy shit, I'm actually going to get to do this. So I had to get back in line with that. And then by 5 after 7, hanging out in line with people, I got the answers about getting back to myself about this, because I just started school 2 days ago, and my second day was a vacation to come here. So it's about this. I want to hear about fun as I go forward, because I want fun. The whole thought of doing this was that it would be a way for me to have fun, because I love Coldplay and I love my little rabbit, so I'll just do these things, and then you get put in the front row and you get a scholarship to study pet rabbits.
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty good.
So what you're noticing is that once it gets rolling, then the manifestations themselves can be objects of your attention that just keep it going.
Yeah, that's cool. I feel like the baseball guy.
But we want your understanding of this to go beyond, which of course it does, go beyond responding to good feeling conditions. We want you to figure out how to conjure within yourself a satisfying moment without needing a condition to focus upon in order to have a satisfying response to. And of course, once it gets rolling, it feeds itself. But as long as you know that you can always get back to satisfaction through quieting your mind, because that's your default position, that's just right where you go. And then from there, it just becomes more and more and more and more and more.
Yep. And the last week or two, I've been practicing at night this idea of, segment intending. So I've been practicing that as every day, different moments of the day, but also sitting in bed at night. And when I get up and going, okay, now I'm going to think, I'm going to do that meeting, so I'm going to segment intend about that now. So this is what I expect to happen. And when I do that trip with my friend to come here, it's like, this is what I expect to happen. So do we have 1 minute to talk about personal growth? Because I had a meeting with my advisor, and it was about how, well, yeah, you want to do that, but that's personal growth. And I thought, well, that didn't quite sit right, but I didn't fight back against it. And then the next day I thought, wait a minute, what I believe is that this is all about personal growth, and it's different from this service idea.
Here's a clarification that you're looking for. So start with this premise. You did all your creating in step 1. You get that? Contrast caused you to put it there, and it's done. But cooperative components are making what you did even bigger and better than you know. So now, here it is. It's done. Sources all over it. Cooperative components are gathered, and there is a pathway for such satisfaction, evolution, as this that is done vibrationally begins to be recognized and realized by you, which is where all the satisfaction comes from. So the idea that I'm going to sit and accomplish all of that with the power of my mind when I'm segment intending, what you do with segment intending is that you line up with what's there. The thing that makes life most satisfying is to have intended it and then watch it happen. So our response to you is be as specific as you feel like being, as long as it's satisfying while you're being specific. But don't cross over into that trying to make it happen by being more specific than you have allowed yourself to receive. Here's another way of saying it. If you push someone for an answer to a question before they are ready, they'll always say no. And so you don't want to put yourself in a position that you're trying to figure something out before you have all the vibrational, there's an agreement happening here in this room, before you have all of the vibrational readiness for it. We're talking about the receiving mode. So now what? Because something we said twisted your brain into a little knot. We thought we'd untie it before we turn you loose.
Yeah, no, I just got distracted. It's just funny because it's going to be at a vet school and the dog barking. So
interesting, isn't it? So when that happens, just step back to the place that you know and just feel satisfaction in being in that place that you know.
Okay, I got it. The place that I know is that my belief system is what this is, not what's out there that most people believe. So that's the part that I need to know and believe in. Worthiness was my word for the year, and to believe in that, and it's just all coming together.
Here's what we'd like to leave you with.
Nice.
Here's what we'd like to leave you with. You're often in the receptive mode.
Mm-hmm.
You want more, it's a good thing, than you even know you want. And the details of it are surprising you and delighting you and thrilling you every step along the way. Think more about having already set it into motion, and now you are in the phase where you are putting your emphasis upon getting into the receptive mode, where you are realizing what the next step is and the next step is, rather than trying to create what the next step is and the next step is. In other words, you're wanting to feel your way to the next step rather than decide in advance what the next step is going to be. When you are good at thought like you are, and good at planning like you are, and good at execution like you are, you can build yourself into a box with limitations that are not necessary.
Felt that on Thursday, day one.
So when you just step back to the simple things that you hear us say so often, step 1 and step 3 are 2 different steps, and step 1 you've already done it and it's magnificent, and now your work is on step 3, and now you're listening for inspiration. I create my own reality. Here, we'll put it to you in a new context. I have already mostly created my own reality, and now my work is to get into a vibrational place where I can receive the guidance and the information to follow the trail of what I've created, because it's going to be way fun to do it.
Way fun to do.
Rather than I create my own reality and I have to be vigilant about every thought or I might make a wrong turn. It's not like that. I've created my own reality, and law of attraction has gathered the cooperative components, and my inner being sees a path of least resistance, which means the path of most fun. And my inner being is broadcasting to me constantly impulses that go sort of like, if I were standing in your physical shoes, I'd do this. I'd go over there and see what happens. And when you go over there and you see what happens, then not only do you feel more worthy, not only do you feel absolutely blessed, but you feel inspired and enlivened by what comes next. So it just gets better and better and better and better and better. You do create your own reality, but you've already done most of the work, and now you want to chill out, and it's time for you to cash in your vibrational chips. It's time for you to let what you've already created be received by you. It's already been revealed. It's being revealed all day, every day. You just got to get on the right wavelength so that you can feel it, you see. One day, years ago, Jerry and Esther were in Orlando, and Esther was driving, as she usually was, and Jerry was navigating. But they had a new navigational system, and frankly, Jerry felt competition with this new navigational system, because he was doing the navigating before, and now Esther's got this new friend that she wants to listen to even more than Jerry. And Esther is learning her way with the new navigational system, and so they got onto the freeway, and Jerry sat there, and he allowed Esther to go. And after they got down the road a little ways, he said, "You do know that you're going in exactly the opposite direction of where we need to be going?" And Esther said, "Oh, that's not possible. I did exactly what she told me to do." Jerry said, "Nevertheless, you're going in exactly the opposite direction of what we need to do." And so Esther, so many thoughts flooded into her mind. Did the navigational system not know?